As you leave your car, look to the east and you will see the monument dedicated to the Canadian soldiers that landed here as part of the Dieppe raid. The monument is our first stop on the tour of Blue Beach. Listen to Stop 1 as you make your way to the monument. This beach was an important objective during Operation Jubilee, a Canadian-led assault on the port town of Dieppe located just a few kilometers to the west and along the coast. The troops landing here were to protect the left flank of the main assault on red and white beaches. This monument recognizes those Canadian soldiers who landed here on Blue Beach at Puy. One regiment comprised most of the troops that were to land here, the Royal Regiment of Canada. The regiment had been mobilized on September 1, 1939 and recruited most soldiers from the Toronto, Ontario area of Canada. But like any Canadian battalion, men from all over Canada were present in the ranks. Most of the soldiers stepping onto Blue Beach that day had volunteered in the fall of 1939, most just 18 and 19-year-olds. Now as soldiers in their early 20s, they made up the majority of the men. They were all proud to represent their country and anxious to perform their duty after training for almost 2 years in England. For many of these young boys, it would be their last sunrise. The Royal Regiment of Canada was led onto the beaches with their second-in-command, Major Schofield, and Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Cato. Landing with Cato that day was the Tactical Headquarters Section. This section was the main command and control unit for the battalion. The main offensive component of the battalion was found in the 4 rifle companies of the Royals. Each company numbered about 100 men, led by a major or sometimes a captain. The companies were designated A, B, C, and D companies. To augment the 4 infantry companies, the battalion had a support company which included pioneers, signalers, and a mortar platoon. The RCR battalion with all its components numbered about 550 soldiers. The battalion was eager to battle Hitler's Wehrmacht and to prove that they were the better soldiers. There were several attached units to help the Royals accomplish their objectives that day. These additional soldiers were referred to as Edwards Force. The main component was a 100-man strong attached company of the Black Watch, a battalion from Montreal. Also included in the invasion troops were 26 men from the 4th Field Detachment and another 26 men from the 16th Field Battery. In addition, there was the Artillery Observation Officer, Captain George Brown, and his signaler, Canadian press journalist Ross Monroe, and a small naval beach party. In all, about 750 men planned to land here on Blue Beach. Take time to look around the valley. The seaside village of Puy was known for its many beautiful summer cottages. At the time, the villas were usually set back from the lane and the footpaths on either side of the gorge. These homes were built specifically to take advantage of the beautiful scenic views of the beach. There are very few original buildings from 1942 in the immediate area of the beach. Many of the beachfront homes have been built, rebuilt, or removed since the 1942 battle. The buildings immediately across from the wall and road were not present during the 1942 battle. The area immediately beyond the seawall road was open field. The white summer house on the eastern headlands was present during the summer of 1942. Although it has undergone several renovations, this building played a significant role in the battle. Geography, both natural and man-made, were to prove the main obstacles for the Canadians. As you look to both sides of the valley, you will notice the 150-meter tall cliffs that dominated the landing zone. The eastern and western headlands created a natural amphitheater that funneled any activity through the narrow village streets of Puy. Look back over your shoulder to the sea. Between the two headlands, the beach is just 200 meters wide. The most important obstacle for the Royals would prove to be the man-made seawall. The seawall was built of solid masonry and about 10 feet high, running the length of the beach. There were just 2 exit points located in the wall that channeled the men into killing zones. One exit point is found at the eastern end of the wall. This was a walkway ramp that exited the beach in the direction of the eastern headlands. Another exit, a stairwell, was located towards the center west area. The planners had allocated scaling ladders to allow the men to overcome these obstacles. In the scramble to make it off the beach, these ladders were left in the landing craft. These 2 choke points were to prove fatal to the young Canadian soldiers. Beyond the seawall you can see the beach. At high tide it was just 50 meters from the water to the wall. The beach is not your typical sand base, but rather stones of various size that make walking difficult. This was to prove disastrous for the Royals, who landed weighed down with 50-pound packs. The natural and man-made features resulted in what could be equated to as a rush hour crowd on a subway platform, attempting to get up the escalators to the street above. As everyone knows, that process always involves a certain amount of pushing and shoving, and hanging about. But hanging about gets costly under machine gun fire. And so it was on this day, on August 19, 1942, that the men of the Royals found themselves rushing towards their destiny, the beaches at Bruges. It is now time to move on to Stop 2, located just around the corner from the monument. Finish Stop 2 before moving on to Stop 3.